Welcome to this week's edition of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry. And Coach, the Tigers, a rough one last week against UMBC. They came out firing threes, which you knew they were going to do, but they made a lot of them.
Yeah, we were outplayed on Saturday. We looked a little soft, a little tired, and a little bit like a team that hasn't practiced much, and that's who we are right now. So it's like I said, we were outplayed. We just never got our footing, and I think the guys are and staff. Obviously we're not happy about it, and the only thing we could do is kind of increase our measure of toughness and get back to work, and that's kind of been the plan. It's we've had a couple days of practice, and you've traveled with us a lot. We had one in 18 days, and now it's been good to get back into the swing of things a little bit.
You got Tyler Tejada and Christian May back. Tyler had been out for 6 games. He had a very good second half. Do you think it took him a little while to get acclimated to getting back into game rhythm?
I'm sure. I just felt like we weren't playing very well during that game, so try to play those two guys a lot. That it's not ideal when they come back, but we need guys to come back, especially Tyler and Christian. I thought Tyler did a good job for a guy that had been out for a while without, I wish we could have got him some practices, but as you know, we had a tough week last week. Like Hicks was out all week, Williamson was out all week, Caleb and Byer was out all week with the flu. And Byer and Hicks tried on Saturday. They were getting sick. So, it's tough timing, but you got to weather the storm. And we have had 2 full days of practice this week, and that's what we're going to do all week. It's a little bit different than a normal exam year, but we need some practice in order to get going. So that's been good to get some guys back.
And coming up this week, you've got 2 games. You've got Duquesne on Saturday night at LeBron James's high school in Akron, Ohio. How does this come about?
Yeah, they started it last year. They played Bradley. Look, we've tried to schedule aggressively. This isn't coach speak. Duquesne's at a little bit like us. They've got a good team. They've got a team, in my opinion, to become in the top 4 in our league. They've had a lot of guys in and out with some injuries, and they've played some good teams. So we had the chance to play them, and it'll be a good challenge. Honestly, our last 3 non-conference games are all teams I think that would be in the top half of our league or higher. So they're going to be good challenges for us. But yeah, our focus is on trying to get better this week before we play against Duquesne, who's pretty deep, pretty physical. They're going to force us to do we're going to have to do some things better than what we showed last Saturday.
And much like you guys, they've lost some close games to some quality schools.
Yeah, they have. They've played a good schedule. I like their team. Coach Joyce runs good offense.
And he's in his first year as the head coach.
He is, but they've got good players. They're coming off of winning the Atlantic 10 tournament last year and getting in the NCAA tournament. So it'll be a good challenge. I'm sure it's going to be a energized atmosphere. So like I said, some of these things you hope prepare you for what's coming down the pike starting on January 2nd, playing in these type of environments.
And Coach Joyce was a high school teammate of LeBron James, and I guess LeBron has given money to really build up the gym in this high school, which is where the Tigers will play. But again, how does Towson end up playing in this?
Well, you know what? They were advertising for an opponent there, and we jumped at it, and then they eventually said yes. So we appreciate them doing that. I hope LeBron James will be there. I don't know what his schedule is.
They play on Sunday in L.A.
Is that right? So Coach Joyce played with LeBron. I play with Mike McLean. He's the chief of police of Lexington, Massachusetts. He was a great foreman back at Malden Catholic. Hope you're watching,
Very
Mike.
similar. Very similar, yeah. All right, and then from there, the Tigers, on their way back to Towson, will stop in the Pittsburgh area to take on Robert Morris, a team that you beat in a tough ball game here last year. They have a lot of new players this year, as Andy Toole has retooled, and they're off to an okay start.
Well, Andy's a good coach. He's a good friend. Like I said, it's a good Horizon League team. It's what you're going to see in a good CAA team on the road. So they got a wonderful new facility up there. So they'll be well coached. They'll be good defensively. they'll try to attack our ball screen coverage in different ways. So, the only good is we play a Saturday, and it's about a 2-hour bus ride, and then we don't play till Tuesday night. So we've got ample time to get ready. I mean, let's be honest, the hardest stretch of our travel is over.
Behind us.
Yeah, and look, at scheduling presents different opportunities in this new day and age, and we've decided to try to attack some of those opportunities. I wish we could have played a little bit better. Wish we would have been a little bit healthier during those, but we can't do anything about that. We can only worry about how do we get better. Our ultimate goals are still in front of us, and if we have a full arsenal of guys, I still 100% believe in our group.
Well, I will leave you with this. The last time Towson played a basketball game at Robert Morris, Vince Angotti was the head coach, and there was a brawl that stopped the game for about 25 minutes. Let's not have a repeat.
Well, we certainly don't want that. That's not good for, that's not good for anybody.
It was 1982 or 83, I believe.
Thanks for mentioning that. I'm sure that's a fond memory for everyone involved.
Yeah. So that'll do it for this episode of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. Thanks for tuning in. For the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry, I'm Spiro Marikis. We'll talk to you next week.